So not every piece of gear I buy is a winner. And I think it is important to just be as honest about the stuff that disappoints you as the stuff I love. So this is the GVM SD80S. This was one of my first video lights I bought. It's an 80 watt daylight COB light. It has a fixed color at 5600 Kelvin, so you don't have temperature adjustments. And that 5600 Kelvin, I don't think it is accurate. So this is my least favorite light in my entire kit, and today I want to tell you why, so you don't make the same mistake that I did. So I'm not here to trash the GVM as a brand. I actually love my SD300D, which is the main light I have here, and I have another one as hairlight here, so it's to show you I love the GVM brand. But the SD80S has been a real letdown. So let me start with the positives, because this isn't a hit piece. I think for my first 6 months of just photography, I used it for most of the works I did then, and it's an all aluminum body. It feels solid in the hand. It has the Bowens mount, and it's the standard Bowens mount, so you can use whatsoever softbox or modifier you already own. And the price was low when I bought it, especially when it comes with a softbox and a stand. I'm still using the softbox here for my lighting setup to show that I still use that part. And yeah, the stand is somewhere in my studio here, but that's where the good news ends. So let me walk you through some of the problems I had using this light and why I don't think it's the best, especially if you're just starting your career as a videographer or content creator. First of all, it has a fixed temperature at 5600 Kelvin, and it is not even accurate. This is one of the biggest frustrations I had with the SD80S. It's a daylight only light which is locked at 5600 Kelvin, so you cannot adjust the temperature at all. You don't have no warm, no cool, just one fixed output. And here is the kicker: that 5600 Kelvin doesn't even feel like true 5600 Kelvin, because when I white balance my S5 Mark II, the Lumix S5 Mark II, which I'm using to shoot currently, when I put it at 5600 and point the light at myself, usually the color is off. And you know, at 5600 Kelvin, I believe it should be nice, but again, the color is always off. So it skews slightly, which means I'm correcting it in post every single time. So for a light that was supposed to simplify my workflow by being daylight balanced, it actually creates more work because I cannot trust the output anymore. And GVM specs it at about 5600 Kelvin with a plus or minus 200 Kelvin tolerance. But in my experience, it is noticeable enough to be annoying, and you do not have that color temperature control. So let me say it again, because I think some people would miss this when buying. You cannot change the color temperature on this light. It is not bicolor, it is daylight only. I'm going to say this in a very nice way, because I started out, you know, just would I say I just wanted something cheap and something a bit professional. I have this light just behind me, and this light is just a bulb. I think it's about 60 watts or so. You can get some of it on Amazon, and you can even change it with your phone. You can change the Kelvin. Yes, it might not be true, but you can change it to suit what you want. So rather than buy these as a beginner, if you just want something bright, I think you should just get something like this. But yeah, let's come back. If you're shooting indoors with warm ambient light, it means you're stuck while using this light. You'll fight it in post. You would not even be able to mix it well. So mixed lighting with this light would be a no-go area. So in 2026, I think you can get bicolor, you can even get full RGB lights at almost the same price point. A fixed temperature light would feel like a product from a different era, which I don't think you should go for. Now, one other thing is the fan noise. The fan kicks in automatically when the light goes above about 60 degrees or 60%, and when it does, you hear it. I mean, if you're recording audio near this light, it becomes a problem. Compared to newer compact COB lights, which is what I reviewed. If you've not seen it, I reviewed the small rig RC100C. So this is the small rig RC100C. It's 100 watts of RGB COB lighting, and I believe that you should, if you have some, extra budget, you should go for it. But when you compare the RC100C light with the SD80S, it is noticeably louder. Again, because it was marketed at YouTubers and content creators like myself, that was why some of us went for it, and I felt like, I could overlook some of the issues and the limitations. So to the power options available, again, this light you have just one DC power in, and you have the NPF batteries. Now, there's something that shocked me about the NPF batteries, because first of all, you have no V-mount, you have no USB-C, and the NPF batteries are not included. Fairly so because of the price. So you need to buy those separately, and the portability they advise would come with some form of hidden cost. Now, one thing to also add is you need to buy 2 NPF batteries. So I felt like, okay, rather than have 2 batteries, I bought one, and I felt it was going to work. And I bought a newer NPF battery, which I'm going to review also. I bought it and I felt it was going to do well, since it's going to come with a lot of wattage. But I noticed you need to buy 2 for this unit. So another thing to be wary about. So again, the weight at about 1.2 kilograms, it is heavier and bulkier than my 100-watt lights, which they're physically smaller and actually more powerful. So when I'm packing for a location shoot, for instance, the SD80S is always the one I leave behind. Probably I just put it beside I have a place where I play keyboard now. I just put it there for constant or continuous light, and I use it that way. But I don't think I'm going to be taking it out. The one reason why I'm considering taking it out for shoots is if I get another NPF battery, it is reasonably lighter and it will conserve more energy. So I know the RC100 I bought, I would need to get the NPF mount for it. But yeah, the SD80S it isn't broken. As you can see, it turns on, it makes light, it's a fixed temperature light, and I think it's a bit inaccurate in the color output. And because it was marketed to newbies in this industry, I think you should know some of this. And I think the world has moved way past this type of light. So for this same money, you get slightly more smaller, brighter, quieter, full RGB control, and even multiple power options, which is available today. So I don't think the SD80S, it hasn't aged well. It's still good, it works, I use it in other applications, but for my studio, this studio I have where I run podcasts here, I have my talking head over there, I do not use the GVM SD80S. So these are things you should watch out for. It's a fixed 5600 Kelvin again, and it was a compromise I felt I could live with at that time. But about 3 years later now, I think if I fully understood it then, I would not have gotten the lights. So, but if you feel the SD80S is on a deep clearance sale and all you need is just basic daylight, balanced light for your outdoor work, yes, I used it once and it tried. So you can, or you want to have a scene where you're mixing light sources, to get the job done. A big plus for it is the Bowens mount and the build. Absolutely good. I mean, this guy would stand the test of time, but just that flexibility and for different temperatures, different colors is something you might not get with this. So I believe in the cinematography or videography or photography lineup, I believe do not go for something too cheap. I think at some point you should go with something that you would buy and you would thank yourself later. One of the ideologies I have now is I try to future proof many of my gadgets so that I can, or my gears, so that I can, in 5-6 years I would have something good. So I don't regret buying it because it has taught me what to look for in a light. But I would be lying if I tell you I still reach for this when I plan to shoot. It's just somewhere in my house. I use it for the lights And yes, that's it. And that's the beauty of the whole growth. You see, not every purchase would be a home run, and that's okay. The important thing is to be honest about it so you can make a better decision. So if you want to see what I actually recommend instead of the SD80S, please again check out my review of the 100C by Small Rig, and I'll put a link in the description somewhere. And if you own an SD80S and you found a way to love it, please drop a comment. I would like to genuinely hear your take. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.